Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today it is going to be the Leicester City Rebuild. If you guys do enjoy my rebuilds, then smash that like button and please do subscribe. But let's waste no time and let's get into it. So, Leicester City, a team that are probably in a big need of a rebuild at the moment. They are going through some tough times. Obviously, a lot of their players wanting to go. Obviously, Wesley Fofana deciding to abandon ship, and obviously Tielemans probably in the near future looking to leave as well. I feel like of recent years, that's always been the topics, you know. James Maddison wanting to leave a few years ago, a couple years ago even. You know, probably in the future, you're going to have the likes of Harvey Barnes looking to leave as well. It's very, very difficult for Leicester because obviously they had that season very, very long time ago where they did win the Premier League. And ever since, obviously, they're never going to reach them highs again with the players. You're not necessarily with the players they've got, but what I'm trying to say is they build up players to a certain point, and then players get sick and tired of, you know, they want more, and that's when they leave. Obviously, there's a completely different attitude at the club. You look at Fofana, it shows how much power these players have now over the managers, over the clubs even, because when they say they want to leave, another example would be Anthony from Ajax. Obviously, he pretty much demanded Ajax to sell him. These players have so much power over the clubs and management now. It's really, it's arguably bad to see. I'm not a big fan of it when a player absolutely has full power, and that's what it feels like. But enough of that little rant. When you take over Leicester City on this game, your media prediction is 5th. Now, you don't get given a lot of money to spend, which I wasn't expecting anyway. I'm not entirely sure if Wesley Fofana has been sold yet. I don't know if I'm playing on a most up-to-date database. If he hasn't, I will just sell him to make it more realistic. But yeah, so media predictions 5th. I would say that's very achievable. Obviously, I don't know how many players we can bring in. If that's our transfer budget before we've sold Wesley Fofana, and then we're going to get Wesley Fofana on top, possibly we can. But hopefully, he has gone and it's realistic. Unfortunately, he hasn't gone. So, we are going to have to go and sell him, which I will do. I'm not going to, you know, fake it. He's obviously gone in real life. If I can sell him to Chelsea, I will. I don't want to move him, like, because one, I actually played the editor on, so I can't. So, I mean, I'm going to have to just hope Chelsea come in. Hope. If not, I'll sell him to anyone. But in terms of the squad then, in terms of the actual squad, I'm going to be honest with you guys, there are some players I am looking to offload as we go on. So obviously, like, Jamie Vardy's probably, is a club legend, you know, but he's got probably a year or two in him tops left. Obviously, you've got some fantastic players here like Yuri Tielemans, so obviously I will try and get on a contract extension. Ricardo Pereira, obviously a good right back there. Wesley Fofana's not at the club anymore. Harvey Barnes, fantastic. Maddison, fantastic. Ndidi, fantastic. Johnny Evans, decent. 33 years of age, though, so again, couple of seasons. Armati, quite a good player. Silenchu, big fan of his. Perez, a player I will probably look to move on. Sumar, again, a very, very good player. James Justin, again, a very, very good player. What I will say about this team is we're pretty much sorted for fullbacks. You've obviously got 2 left backs and 2 right backs, so that's a positive there. Mark Albrighton, again, a player that will probably look to move on. Castagna, a very good player. Dennis Prayer, again, a decent player, not the best. Daka, fantastic upcoming player. Iheanacho, I'm not a big fan of Iheanacho, I'm going to be honest. He's decent, but nowhere near the level that we're trying to, you know, what we're trying to work with. Mendy, again, a good player. Danny Ward, absolutely horrific. Not a fan of his at all. Luke Thomas, a good left back there. Dewsbury Hall, great potential on him as well. Obviously, we've got Chowdhury, who obviously is on loan. Vestergaard, Bertrand. So a very, very decent, I'd say it's a decent team, probably a 6 out of 10 squad. There's a few players I want to move on. The one player that I must get in, whatever happens, has to be a goalkeeper. Leicester's goalkeeper situation is utterly diabolical. We cannot go into a season with Danny Ward in goal. It's a championship goalkeeper. We cannot go into the season with him in goal. So let's get into the first transfer window, and hopefully we can afford to bring in a keeper. So, this is going to be the first season of transfers. We did sell Fofana, but unfortunately he didn't show up on this list because I pretty much screenshotted this way too early, being honest. But we did sell him for 87 million to Real Madrid. So, luckily, you know, we did manage to sell him. Unluckily, not to Chelsea, but Chelsea didn't come in. I did, you know, try my best. I waited and waited, but they just didn't come in this game. In terms of players, now, we have been able to sign some players. We have managed to sign 2 players who I do think are actually going to do very well. But it's going to be Wilfried Zaha for £30 million and Areola from West Ham for 25 million. Now, Wilfried Zaha, he's one of them players which I never sign in Football Manager, but he's just a player who I think He's been in the Premier League for a while. He's going to be a good option for us on that right-hand side, even if it is as like depth. And he's just... The experience is there. He is a good player. I know he's got a little bit of inconsistency about him, but this season he has been firing in the Premier League. He's been quite good for Palace, and I genuinely think that it's not a bad move. His attributes are quite good. Yes, he is 28. He's not the youngest player, but again, there wasn't too many players in the market that we could attract, so I wanted to get him in, see how he does, and hopefully he can be with us for a couple of seasons and just push us until we're able to really progress up that table, possibly into like the Champions League, Europa League placement spots consistently, and just get this squad a bit of, a little bit better built. And the second goalkeeper, again, I wanted experience. I didn't want to sign a completely young goalkeeper, and that is why we went with Areola, a fantastic goalkeeper. Again, not costing too much, better than Danny Ward, which is all that the requirement was at the end of the day. That is going to be him, and it is going to be, Everson, that are going to be playing in them two goalkeeper positions. Danny Ward just doesn't do it for me, guys. I don't trust him. No disrespect to him. I just don't trust him in net at all. This guy, 6'5", very good, or reasonably tall. Good attributes on him as well. Very good balance, being the star, pretty much standout stat there. And this is what the team looks like going into the first season. So we're going to have Areola, Pereira, Sayuncu, Evans, Castagna, Tielemans, and Ndidi, Maddison, Barnes, Zaha, and Jamie Vardy. And I am very confident with this team, guys. I am. I'm a lot more confident now we've got another goalkeeper, and also we have bolstered that right-hand position, who he actually does get right into the team. So that is always good to see. But what I would like to see in this first season is sort of like a top 8, top 7 finish. I would happily take while we build this team. Obviously, the better results, the better. But that's what I would like to see. So let's get into this first season and hopefully come back with the results that I was hoping for. So, the first season's been simulated, and let's just say it went a lot better than what I thought. We managed to actually finish second in the Premier League. No idea what the other teams were doing. It's an absolute embarrassment, but we will take it. Community Shield, we lost to Man City. Lost in the 5th round of the FA Cup against Middlesbrough. Abysmal. Lost in the Carabao Cup against Watford. Abysmal. So poor in the English Cups. Jamie Vardy having one hell of a season. Second best for scoring goals. The 9th worst for conceding, so that back line does need strengthening quite a bit. In terms of stats then, we're just going to go over a few of the standout performers. We're going to obviously, in terms of goals, we've got 38 from Vardy, 14 for Barnes, 14 for Maddison, 14 for Zaha, good season out of him, 12 for Daka, 8 for Ndidi, 7 for Sayuncu, 7 for Perez. Assists, we're going to have 2 coming out of Vardy, 7 for Barnes, 19 for Maddison, one hell of a season, 11 for Zaha, 4 for Daka, 5 for Ndidi, 7 coming out of Perez, 2 for Evans, 2 for Iheanacho, 11 for Albrighton, and 10 for Yuri Tielemans. Also 9, actually, coming from Pereira. So, again, a very, very good season from some of these players. And to be honest, it's the placement I'm worried about more than the defensive. The defensive stats weren't great. Obviously, the 9th worst isn't the best. Considering you finished second, that shows a lot that you're a lot better going forward than what you are defending. So it is something that we are going to work on, and hopefully we can sort of, make this work. But in terms of actual, placements and finishing like that, I am super happy with how we've done this season. And going into the second season, we've actually been given £56 million to spend, which is a lot more than what we got in the first season. So let's get into the second transfer window and hopefully continue to bolster this squad. That is what we've done. So this is going to be the second transfer window, and this window is going to be a great one. We did manage to sell Jamie Vardy and Ryan Bertrand. Vardy going to Lazio, Bertrand going to Stuttgart. The first signing is going to be Noni Madueke, obviously a fantastic prospect in this game and in real life, from PSV for 27.5 million after the add-ons. The second page of transfers, again, does get quite lively. We're going to be signing also Simakan from Leipzig, 27 million, and Gabriel Jesus from Arsenal for 59 million after what was not the best first season for him. We decide to also, you can see here actually, Real Madrid, I think I got that price tag possibly wrong, but 72 million, so he does show in this one. Perez to Everton for 23, and Iheanacho we do sell to Manchester United for 38 million. I'm not a big fan of Iheanacho and Perez, so we've replaced Iheanacho with Jesus, which in my opinion is a massive upgrade, and also Jesus can play on that right role as well. In terms of what these players actually look like in-game, so we're going to have a little look then. So we're going to have Simakan, again, Possibly won't even get into the first team right off the rip, but this guy has got the ability to grow and cement a guaranteed first team spot in this team. He's absolutely fantastic. Tackling's great, very quick, or reasonably quick as well. Determined personality. I love this guy. Love playing with this guy. Any Leipzig defenders, honestly, an absolute glitch in the game. So fair play to them because they produce some of the hottest players in the whole world, to be honest, in the whole world. We then move on to the next sign, which is going to be Gabriel Jesus. Now, this guy, so much respect for this guy. Obviously, I know why City sold him. Haaland was coming in, right? But this guy's so criminally underrated. Such a baller, such a good striker, and a player who's still only 25. So had to get him. He's literally got no negatives about him as a person. Elite striker, very good off the ball as well. So I mean, why not get him in? This guy can play on the right. He can play up top. That's 2 positions covered, and a fantastic signing. The last player then is going to be a wonder kid, a player who definitely has got some growth from him, and that is going to be Madueke. Again, a player that obviously predominantly plays on the right, can go over to the left, but will play on the right-hand side. So again, that does depend on whether Jesus plays there. Like I said, the first season, this guy could be sat on the bench coming on, developing himself as a player, but this guy, the sky's the limit for this guy. It really is. Fantastic player, and a player who hopefully we can get firing, because this guy's value can start here and up. This guy's value is absolutely uncapped. And this is going to be the team then. So we've got Areola, Pereira, Sayuncu, Evans, Justin, Tielemans, and Didi, Madueke, Madison, Barnes, and Gabriel Jesus. And the bench is even looking good now as well, with Zaha, Daka, Castagna, Vestergaard, Luke Thomas, Dewsbury Hall, Simakan, Samore. Obviously some fantastic players in this team, and what a treat it is to actually manage them. So let's get into the second season and hopefully improve on the first season. Well, the first season in the Premier League was pretty much flawless, apart from winning it. Second place, you know, very, very good. Well, the second season has hit us, and it's mixed emotions, guys. It's really mixed emotions. Quarterfinals, we lose to Liverpool in the Champions League quarters, as I just said. Fourth round again in the FA Cup against Chelsea. Semi-final in the Carabao against Brentford, and we lost the Community Shield. So we did win the Super Cup against Liverpool, though, so it is one trophy. But again, a second place finishing. So, I mean, to be honest, second place finish is actually, again, back-to-back is very, very consistent and very, very good. But it's just, there's so much red here. And when I see red, like especially at the semi-final, the Community Shield, they're so close to being trophies. And second place in the league as well. Second's good, but it's not what we're aiming for, you know. We want to get this club at least a trophy, like a big trophy, not the Super Cup. And it is a little bit annoying, but at the end of the day, it's only our second season. We've still got 3 seasons to build this team to where it should be, and where they belong, you know, where this club belongs, because they are a good club. The owners are lovely. They deserve it, man. They really do deserve it. In terms of squad players, then, what the squad stats, we're going to have 18 assists and 26 goals out of Madison. James Justin with 13 assists and 1 goal. Sayuncu with 1 assist and 10 goals. We're going to go with Tielemans coming in with 10 assists and 12 goals. Madueke, hell of a season, 14 assists and 17 goals. Daka with 2 assists and 26 goals. Pratt coming in with 3 assists and 2 goals. Ricardo Pereira coming in with 6 assists and 3 goals. Player down here with quite good stats. Harvey Barnes with 12 assists and 11 goals. And Gabriel Jesus, the new man, with 9 assists and 20 goals. So again, the goals are going in. Arguably could be a little bit defensively better as well. Again, saying that 2 seasons in a row. But again, the goals are going in. So very, very happy with that. What I have learned and what I have seen, I believe that Jesus is on that right-hand side and Daka is up front, which I am quite excited to see. So we'll see how that plays out, because obviously Daka has got really, really good potential. So it's good to see him playing and obviously contributing with quite a few goals as well. In terms of money, going into the third transfer window, we have been given a budget of £74 million. Now, this is a lot of money to spend, and I definitely am going to bring in some players because this team is doing good, but obviously we're still not winning big trophies, and that means that there is definitely room for improvement. I don't like selling players. Obviously, sometimes you have to because, you know, they don't want to be here or the offers are just too good. But we're only getting 35% of the transfer revenue, so it's not the greatest, but it is something we've got to work with. And yeah, we're going to get into the third transfer window now, and hopefully we can continue to strengthen. Before we do get into that transfer window, though, guys, please do leave a like on this video. It means a lot when I see you guys interact with the content. You like, you comment, you subscribe. whether that be a comment saying, you know, what I could do better or what rebuild you want to see next, anything like that, just comment it, guys. I love speaking to you guys, and it really does mean a lot. But let's get into the third transfer window and hopefully continue to strengthen. So again, there's going to be 2 pages of transfers. The first player we bring in is going to be Samori from Milan for 50 million. And then we bring in Adil Achouche from Saint Etienne for 33.5 million. Now, I want to talk a little bit about him going over, not to the next page, but the next page we'll talk about him. And then these are just some players we got rid of. So Johnny Evans, Albrighton, a wing, Chibuze. I'm not even going to try that because I do not want to offend anyone. And Hurst going on the free. So we're going to talk about this guy I want to talk about because I've never actually seen him before. And he looks really, really good. So this guy here, I've never actually seen him before. Again, I know a lot of you Football Manager veterans probably know exactly who this guy is. But I've never signed him before. And he looks really, really good. And the reason why I've got him is because 1, he looks, well, very, very good. 2, he can grow a lot. 3, it's good backup for Maddison, obviously, who plays further up the pitch. And he's only 20 years of age, so he can eventually overtake Maddison. When Maddison gets older, he starts to decline. Or if Maddison pulls one of them stunts where he does want to leave, we've got this guy, and he looks very, very good. And our team now is looking absolutely nuts. We've got Areola, Pereira, Samori, Sayuncu, Justin, Tielemans, and Didi Madison, Jesus, Barnes, Daka. Then on the bench, we've got Simican, Maduke, Zaha, Thomas, Samore, Vestergaard, Castagna, Prayet, Achouche, Amati, Chowdhury, Dewsbury Hall, Mendy. The list goes on and on and on and on. And the squad is getting so much stronger now. It's really good to see. And obviously, we're keeping the heart of this Leicester team as it is. We've got Tielemans, we've got Ndidi, we've got Maddison, we've got Daka, we've got Barnes, we've got Justin, we've got Sayuncu, we've got Pereira. We're still playing with a lot of these Leicester players. In my opinion, Leicester's issues aren't that they need a whole new team. They just need to strengthen that a little bit more because they sell these great players and bring no players in, which they used to do so well. So this team now I'm really excited to use, and hopefully we can go into the 3rd season and win something a little bit more important than the Super Cup. And that's what we've done. We're winners, guys. We are winners. Leicester City are your Premier League champions and also your FA Cup champions. Could have been quadruple winners. But we lose to Liverpool in the Champions League. Again, a very tough fixture. Carabao Cup is abysmal. We should have beat Leeds in the final. But at the end of the day, 2 trophies, absolutely sensational. 104 goals scored, 55 conceded. So again, still not the best at defending. But stuff at 2 trophies. We're absolutely on flames at the moment. In terms of stats then, we're going to have 34 assists and 21 goals from Maddison. Sayuncu with an assist and 12 goals. We've got Samori, sorry about that, with an assist and a goal. Simican coming in with 16 assists. Daka with 5 assists and 45 goals. Tielemans with 21 assists and 10 goals. We've got James Justin, that's not James Justin. Gabriel Jesus with 12 assists and 27 goals. Maduke with 11 assists and 14 goals. We have got Harvey Barnes with 5 assists and 20 goals. And we have got a Shush coming in, obviously the new man, sorry if I'm butchering that name, with 8 assists and also 4 goals. So even him getting in the action, obviously new to the Premier League, needs a few seasons to adapt. But overall, guys, I am so happy we've finally managed to win a trophy. I was not expecting to win the Premier League this early on, but we will take it. I was expecting to win the English trophy probably last season, but we've done what I wanted to do. We've won the Premier League, we've won an English trophy. It's now all about, can we find success in a European tournament? Now, it's going to be difficult because I don't think this team's capable yet of winning the Champions League, but also we're not in Europa League, if that makes sense. So it's very difficult me saying that, because if we're in the Europa League with this team, I think we can win it. Can we win the Champions League? I don't know. Personally, I think the team needs a little bit more strengthening. And talking about strengthening, we have got another £76 million to put into the team, and that is what we're going to do. So I'm going to fast forward right now to the 4th transfer window, and let's see who we bring in. So only the 1 page of transfers then, guys, for the 4th season of the transfers, and that is going to be Raspadori coming in from Napoli for 42 million, and Vitinha coming in from AC Milan for 69 million pounds. So quite a big window, and we do sell Mendy to Atletico Mineiro for 2.1 million pounds. Now, Raspadori is simply going to be a backup for Daka. He can also play reasonably comfortably on this left-hand side. Fantastic player, obviously can grow as well, but to be honest, his attributes are already where I'd want him to be. Fantastic off the ball, great flair, good finishing, good acceleration, good agility, good balance, good natural fitness, good pace. Fantastic player. The only downfall is he's not the tallest. But again, Gabriel Jesus isn't exactly a giant, and nor is Daka, so it's not really an issue. But again, it's a player who I do sometimes sign quite frequently for a backup. But this guy, bit of advice for you guys. If you guys are, maybe not got the strikers that I've got at this club, you want a first-team striker, this guy can hack it. He's a very good striker and someone who, to be honest, I think will actually play quite a few games for me even. So definitely a good shout. And then this guy, we all know who he is, Vitinha. Fantastic player, absolute baller, world-class midfielder, 5'8" again. Again, the midfield isn't the tallest, it doesn't really affect us too much. We're talking great first touch, great passing, great technique, great vision. Work rate, it's okay. Good agility, good balance, good composure, good decisions. Again, only 24, so he's got years and years of growth in him. And do you know what? This midfield is now looking scary. If you look here, like of the options we've got, this is obviously, we're not going to include the attacker midfield player because he will never play deeper. But we've got Tielemans, Vitinha, and Dide some more. We've got some fantastic players, and this is what the team looks like now. So we're going to have Areola, Simakan at right back, Samori, Sayuncu, Thomas, Tielemans, and Didi, Madison, Jesus, Barnes, and Daka. This is what the best 11's recommended, by the way. So I always like to show that because then it does show if any of the signings instantly get in. They don't on this occasion, as I did say they probably wouldn't. But this team is honestly looking very, very good. And I cannot wait to see how we do in the next season. I do think we're really laying a foundation down now. Like, we're strengthening every position. The only position I've not strengthened right away is going to be Barnes because he's actually doing very well. Same with Madison and obviously Daka. So, I mean, overall, this team, in my opinion, has come 10 to the dozen. It's pretty much tripled its value in terms of, well, money and also performance. But let's get into the fourth season and hopefully carry on this winning. Well, I have been shut up by my Leicester City players. Rewind back a few minutes ago, I famously said that we couldn't win the Champions League. We've won the Champions League. We've won the Champions League. We've won the Premier League. Lost the Community Shield. Lost the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. But we have won the biggest trophy in world football in the side of 4 seasons with Leicester City. Scoring 108 goals, only conceding 35, so getting a little bit better there as well. In terms of squad stats, really interested to see how we've actually done considering of the trophies that we have won. We've got Vitinha coming in with 24 assists and 4 goals. We've got Tamori with 11 goals. We've got Sayuncu with 2 assists and 5 goals. We've got Madison with 17 assists and 31 goals. We've got Simakan coming in with 9 assists and a goal. Luke Thomas, 14 assists and 4 goals. Daka, he is so good. We need to praise Daka. Leave a like for Daka, guys. Leave a like for Daka. We have got him coming in with 6 assists and 40 goals. Maduke, oh, gosh, that does not sound good. 14 assists and 24 goals. Go down to some of the better performers here. Raspadori, actually, very interesting to see him come on. 36 substitute appearances, 15 assists and 9 goals. Harvey Barnes with 10 assists and 14 goals there. Jesus with 7 assists and 14 goals. A little bit of a quiet season for him. Yuri Tielemans coming in with 7 assists and 10 goals. Again, quite a quiet season. But I do not care about these quiet seasons when we are winning the Premier League, we're winning the Champions League. Also, got to take into account that we are signing more and more players. So there is obviously not going to be as much game time guaranteed for these lads. So, I mean, if you look at the likes of Jesus, he only started 21 games a couple seasons ago. Probably was starting double that. So, you know, it is going to get more difficult for the players, and you know that's the risk you take. But you have to strengthen the team. You have to have options on the team, because if you just have one good player in each position and they get injured, you've left yourself done for at the end of the day. And going into the last season, we have been given a budget of 95 million pounds to spend. I love money, guys. I love money on this game. Love it. Love having a big transfer budget. I really do. We are going to have a field day in this window. So let's get into the last transfer window and hopefully bring in some players. So this is going to be the last transfer window, and I want to talk about the players going out. Before we pay attention to that side of things, ignore that side. Let's talk about the players going out. A lot of players were up for contract renewal and they didn't want it. So I was like, go. So Amati Saporto for 11 million. Prayet to Rennes for 16. Danny Ward to Frankfurt for 4.1. And then we also did sell Vestergaard on the second page. We replaced these players with, in my opinion, better players altogether. We have got Timber from Ajax, sorry again, coming in for £66 million. We have got Patricio Minir coming in from Independente for £9 million. Who, again, I'm going to show you these players because they are unorthodox, or this guy is especially. Kaiki, we all know who he is, from Manchester United for £31 million. And also, a little freebie I saw on the market. Again, it's a gamble. Donny van der Beek, but he's on the free. Why not give him a shot? This is going to be the first player. We've all heard of this guy, Timber. Absolute baller. Fantastic player. This is why I love Timber as well. Right back, centre back, midfield. Hats off. He can play in pretty much every position I want him to. And he covers so many areas of the pitch. Like, I mean, and he's also comfortable. So comfortable. He's like the bright green, obviously, meaning they're very comfortable in that position. And the fact that he can cover so many is very, very helpful to us at the moment because so many players did leave. So as soon as I saw all them players wanting to leave, one player come into my head, Timber, and we went out and got him. This guy, again, is purely for the future, worth a little bit more than what we paid for him. He is going to be not classed as a wonder kid, but in my eyes, a wonder kid. The kid's 19. Again, not the quickest, but his tackling is absolutely sensational. Amazing teamwork, good bravery, good heading. And again, it's just a player to have, even for cup ties in the future. I saw the price tag. I was like, he looks very, very good. Loads of room to grow. Why not sign him? There's no real reason not to. He didn't cost us a lot. His wage is next to nothing. Let's give him a shot. He is actually out on loan at the moment because obviously we do have good enough centre-backs. But what I try and do is, even though I only play this save for 5 years, I try and act as in I'm trying to rebuild this club for the future. And this guy one day could be the future. You never know. We then go and sign Kaiki again, another breakthrough prospect. Centre-back, slightly more mature than the other guy we just talked about. This guy probably will be getting into the team a lot quicker than he will. But again, if you look at the defensive options, it's absolutely outstanding now. It really is. And then we picked up this guy. Not an expected signing. Not the best in terms of ability at the moment. But I'll take a shot on Donny any day of the week. I think he's finding it really difficult in real life at the moment because, you know, he went to United and he couldn't get into the team. He went to Everton. First couple of games looked okay. Again, wasn't, you know, anything too great there. Back at Manchester United now under Ten Hag. A lot of United fans thought they're back together. That's his boy. It's going to be different. Not really different. So it's really difficult. I don't know if something's going on behind the scenes. I have no idea what goes on at that club. But I want to take a risk on him. I took a punt on him, and hopefully it does pay off. But again, his wage isn't a lot at all, really, for a player of his caliber. He is 28 years of age now as well. So again, might be a bit of a gamble, but why not? He's on the free. And this is going to be what the team looks like going into the last season. We are going to have Areola, Timber, Tamori Simican, Thomas, Tielemans, Vitinha, Madison, Jesus, Raspadori, and Daka. A team that I am absolutely very, very, very confident with. And hopefully they can take me to glory in this last season. And that's what they kind of done. In the last season, we didn't win the Premier League. We lost in the Champions League final. But we did win the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and the Community Shield. So we won every English trophy possible, apart from, obviously, the Premier League. So I'm very happy with that, purely because we have won pretty much a variety of trophies now. We've won pretty much one of each, I think. So again, very happy with how this rebuild has gone. Second place in the Prem, not by a lot of points either, really. It's only 4 points in it. It's still a very, very good season. And I think we've really, really worked this team well in terms of the signings, in terms of the trophies. And if we look at the player stats for this season, it's very good again. We're talking 21 assists and 8 goals for Vitinha, 10 assists coming in for Simican. We've got 4 assists and 48 goals for Daka. We've got 9 assists coming in from Luke Thomas. We've got 12 assists and 15 goals from Madueke, 11 assists and 21 goals for Raspadori, 8 assists and 18 goals for Madison, 9 assists and 13 for Yuri Tielemans. And we are going to also have 8 assists and 11 goals coming in for Ayuche. Jesus not having a bad season there as well. Again, being used as a sub a bit there as well. 15 assists and 11 goals. And Harvey Barnes with 12 assists and 10 goals. So, again, the stats being fairly spread out there between the lads in the team. Don't exactly know what happened with Ndidi. Bit worrying. I imagine an injury, as the guy literally played 4 games as a sub. very interesting, but we'll ignore that. But overall, this has been a very, 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 very good season. Very good save, sorry. And if we were to carry on, we would have actually been given an £85 million budget. And I love to add this little segment in at the video, because I can then explain what I would do if I was going to carry on. What I would personally do this point onwards is sign another goalkeeper. Areola's getting a little bit older. The backup goalkeeper isn't really good enough to take over. Get another goalkeeper in, possibly look to bring in some more midfield players, possibly even another winger. Probably no, you don't need the winger really. Probably another midfield player, just as depth, and also a goalkeeper. That's all you need. So this team, in my opinion, I'm going to give it a rebuild rating of an 8 out of 10. That's what I'm going to give myself, an 8 out of 10. Obviously, 10's being perfect. It's been pretty much impossible to do unless you win everything from the second you start. So 8 out of 10 for me. Give me your rating in the comments. But we always do this. We always look at what we've actually done inside of 5 years. See if it's been worth it. In my opinion, it has. So obviously, we'll look at the winning stuff. 2022 Europa League winners. We were also Super Cup winners there as well. 2024, we were Premier League champions, FA Cup winners. 2025, Premier League champions, Champions League winners, Community Shield winners. 2026 season Carabao Cup winners, FA Cup winners, and Champions League runners-up. So, in my opinion, a very, very, very successful 5 years at Leicester City. Do let me know in the comments what you think, though. If you guys have enjoyed this rebuild, though, please do smash the like button. That is going to be it for me today, guys. I really do enjoy doing these rebuilds. It's really fun to see how these clubs actually act when I'm in charge of the transfers. I really do enjoy making them, and it's definitely something I'm going to continue doing on this channel. I know you guys do enjoy the tactics, possibly slightly more, but I love making the rebuilds, and I know a few of you guys do enjoy watching them as well. But please do subscribe as well, guys. It's completely free. And yeah, that's going to be it for me today, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.